Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, March 16th. A very dry air mass remains in place across the northeastern part of the nation, and an area of moisture will have trouble reaching the ground in much of the northeastern quadrant of the nation. Just a light wintry mix possible today in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Two things really going against this particular event. One, the very dry air mass that is in place, and two, this particular system has lost all of its upper level support. Really, the moisture that's coming into the mid-Atlantic region today was associated with that major snowstorm in the Rockies over the weekend, but it lost all of its punch in the upper part of the atmosphere as it headed to the east. Now, later in the week, a much more significant precipitation event is coming to the mid-Atlantic region in the northeast U.S. Rain on Thursday and Thursday night could change briefly to snow in parts of the northeast, especially the interior, higher elevation locations. That late week event from Thursday into Friday will really be the first significant precipitation event of the month for the mid-Atlantic and the northeast U.S. Let's start off by looking at the latest radar loop. First of all, notice kind of a breakup of that moisture field that certainly was quite dominant in the weather picture over the Central Plains on Monday, but it has lost its upper level support. We'll see in a moment now. There's not only not an upper level trough associated with this, but there's a strong upper level ridge right now over the mid-Atlantic region. So this is breaking up. Some of that snow is not even reaching the ground because the dew points are still very, very low north of the Mason-Dixon line. The air mass that is in place right now across the northeastern part of the nation had its origins way up in northern Canada a few days ago, and that's why it's cold and very dry. Dew points still in the single digits this morning in places like the Philadelphia metro region. So a light wintry mix possible from later today into tonight in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Nothing at all significant. Don't worry about any accumulations. Meanwhile, out in the western U.S., notice this little rotation in the precipitation pattern here over the southwestern states. This is another upper level trough moving towards the Colorado Rockies, mainly producing snow right now. This is the system that will make it all the way into the Ohio Valley and then kind of redevelop off the mid-Atlantic coastline Thursday, Friday time frame, and that system will bring some significant rainfall into the mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. from Thursday into Thursday night, and again it could change briefly to snow on Friday before the precipitation finally winds down. Well, here's the total precipitation forecast map for the next 5 days. This goes all the way into Sunday morning, and this is actually good news right here. Notice anywhere from 1.25 inches above across much of the mid-Atlantic region. The purple represents 1.5 inches or above. So this is, again, the first significant precipitation event of the entire month of March. We really have to go back to the first day of March to see some decent precipitation, and even that was on the light side, under 1/4 inch in most places. So this is good news, and again, this is associated with that late week event, Thursday into Friday. Very little precipitation from this first event later today into tonight, just a light wintry mix. But this is good news, and all of this is coming from that system that is now crossing over the southwestern states. It'll produce some more significant snowfall in the Rockies and then head to the east. And we talked about yesterday, the basic track will be up to the Ohio Valley, and then from here there'll be a big block over this part of Canada and the upper part of the atmosphere, and instead of going farther to the north, the system here will kind of be suppressed back to the south and east to the mid-Atlantic coastline, and that could allow for colder air to move from the northwest to the southeast during the day on Friday, actually late Thursday night into the day on Friday. So in some parts of the mid-Atlantic region, especially the interior, higher elevation areas of the mid-Atlantic and northeast U.S., there can be a changeover to snow during the day on Friday before the precipitation winds down for good. Well, let's take a look at the forecast maps from last night's operational run of the GFS, a 0Z run. It's a 500 millibar height anomalies. And look at this. Again, we talked about a couple of things going against any kind of significant precipitation today in the mid-Atlantic region. One, very dry air mass in place. That, of course, will cause some evaporation and make it more difficult for snow, for example, to reach the ground in many areas. And two, all of its upper level support has vanished for this particular area of moisture. In fact, there's a little bit of a ridge of high pressure in the upper part of the atmosphere. But here's that new system. This is not the one that caused the major snowstorm for Denver and Cheyenne, Wyoming over the weekend. This is the new system, again, moving into the southwestern states, and it holds together. Unlike its predecessor here, it holds together and goes all the way into the Ohio Valley right here by Thursday afternoon. Here's Thursday evening. First of all, a strong upper level low makes it all the way into the Tennessee Valley by Thursday evening. And notice all the strong higher heights than normal high pressure ridging over southern Canada. Again, that acts as a block. System first goes up into the Ohio Valley and then will tend to be suppressed to the south and east, allowing for colder air to filter in from the northwest to the southeast during the late evening hours on Thursday, going into the morning hours on Friday. Let's move forward here, and here we go. By Friday morning, could very well be low pressure right off the mid-Atlantic coastline. Significant rain Thursday into Thursday night. Again, it could end briefly as snow during the day on Friday. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps from the 0Z operational run of the GFS. And again, a breakup of that moisture here. A little bit falling this morning over the western and central parts of Pennsylvania. Some of it not even reaching the ground because of the dry air mass in place. And that dry air mass is still being anchored by high pressure over New England. Certainly can be a little bit of a wintry mix anywhere up and down the I-95 corridor region from later today into tonight. Rain, sleet, a little bit of snow, nothing at all significant. Don't expect any accumulations. Temperatures do remain cold, struggling to get out of the 30s in much of the area north of the Mason-Dixon line. That's well below normal for this time of the year. And here's the next storm system moving into the Colorado Rockies by later tonight, into tomorrow. Some more snowfall out over the Rockies, and then that spills out into the middle part of the nation on Wednesday. It turns a little bit milder on Wednesday in the mid-Atlantic region after the chilly day on yesterday and the chilly day today. And then this system heads up towards the Ohio Valley right here. Notice strong high pressure to the north over south central and southeastern Canada by Thursday afternoon, all associated with that upper level block that sets up there. This system, instead of continuing to move to the north and east, goes all the way up to the Ohio Valley and then kind of suppressed down into south to the south and east. So from the Ohio Valley, it'll end up off the mid-Atlantic coastline here by Friday morning. And look at this changeover to snow in much of the interior section of the mid-Atlantic region, and certainly all the way down to the southern New England coastline by early Friday morning. This is a cold air mass up across southeastern Canada, anchored by that strong high pressure system, and it certainly looks like a changeover to snow in much of New England by Friday morning. And again, even some of the interior higher elevation locations of central northeastern PA, maybe even down to the DC, Philadelphia, New York City metro region, we'll see a brief changeover to snow during the morning, midday hours on Friday before the precipitation finally winds down. Certainly, temperatures will drop between Thursday and Friday, maybe by 5 or 10 degrees in the I-95 corridor region as that colder air filters in from the northwest to the southeast. And the changeover would occur in that same fashion from the northwest to the southeast. So something we'll monitor over the next couple of days. Finally winds down late in the day on Friday, setting us up for a cold, dry, probably a breezy day on Saturday in the mid-Atlantic region. That very well could be the last chance for frozen precipitation in the mid-Atlantic region. We'll have to monitor that possibility over the next several days, really over the next couple of weeks. But a light nothing more than a light wintry mix today into tonight in the Mid-Atlantic region. A much more impactful system comes Thursday into Friday, really the first significant precipitation event for the Mid-Atlantic region, Northeast U.S. for the entire month of March so far. Rain Thursday night could change over to snow in parts of the Northeast Mid-Atlantic region late Thursday night into Friday morning, something we'll monitor over the next couple of days. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Orion.